shockingly enough, even with a megalomaniac director, this film still turned out awesome. Leviathan. This is the 1989 underwater set monster movie that is one of the best to come out of 1989. An appreciation of the film Underwater. I'll be reviewing some movies that came out in 1989 and 1990 that all have similar concepts. But before we get into it, make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon. Even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Also hit the notification bell, and as always, subscribe. Alright, let's get into this. The plot. Set in 2027, a team of 8 in a deep-sea mining colony stumble upon an old shipwreck called Leviathan. One of the members brings back a trunk with all sorts of souvenirs, a treasure chest, if you will. One of those souvenirs contains a deadly contagion of sorts in a bottle. They are now about to make a startling discovery. Not all viruses come from our inept immune systems. That doesn't sound as good as Deep Star 6's "Not all aliens come from space." Oh well. I really enjoyed this movie, and I used to praise Deep Star 6 as the better film. I'm not so sure of that now. Our cast of 8 characters are highly enjoyable and likable. Justin Jones, played by Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters 1 and 2, as well as Shark Attack and Battle Dogs, plays the big burly black guy who has a heart of gold and doesn't like seeing his friends being tormented by these creatures. Dr. Glenn Thompson, played by Richard Crenna from Rambo 1 to 3, is sort of a peculiar character. He wants to help but feels obligated to save the world when stuff starts getting serious. Jesus, played by Michael Carmine from Invasion USA, actually died the same year this movie came out of a tragic heart failure at the age of 30. He plays the character that is always kind of timid. He might even be a rookie compared to the others, and is always shooken up when stuff goes south. He also likes skiing, apparently, with his constant workout machine, because he just can't wait to go back onto the slopes. Bridget Bowman, played by Lisa Ilbacher, who looks a lot like Reba McEntire, seems to be the one who is the most down-to-earth. She doesn't have a problem with having fun. Sixpack, played by Daniel Stern from Chud and Home Alone 1 and 2, is kind of the douchey character. He is always picking on Jesus and takes huge risks just to have a good time. J.P. Cobb, played by Hector Elizondo, is kind of a background character. He's an older fella who just wants to get the job done. With no problems, of course. Elizabeth Williams, played by Amanda Pays, who's done a lot of TV work, including The X-Files, is the understanding and caring character. She knows people are going to be judgmental of Beck, who is their commanding officer, but she wants to be there for him. Speaking of Beck, Peter Weller, who played RoboCop in RoboCop 1 and 2, plays him perfectly as the calm, cool, and collective captain. One who isn't oblivious, but does focus on what's important and right in front of him. Meg Foster is the evil businesswoman. She keeps the team down there in fear of something. It isn't revealed how much she actually knows, but it is suspicious behavior nevertheless. The whole cast does wonderful. The writing is spot on, and is part of what makes this movie's charm work so well. Like I said, director George P. Cosmatos, who also directed Rambo First Blood Part 2, Cobra, as well as Of Unknown Origin, which also starred Peter Weller, was very controlling on set. He would often get into fights with the crew, which made the cast very uncomfortable. Thank goodness they turned in stellar performances, despite the egotistical director. Leviathan is kind of a hard movie to discuss, because everything awesome about it, besides the characters, relies on intake. We see the amazing visuals, we hear the ambient music, and those are what we mostly take away from it. So therefore I am going into the next section, which is the gore, the effects. Stan Winston and his crew outdid themselves on this project. They made a hodgepodge of a monster, and they went all out with the makeup and the set design. The creature in this movie is an amalgamation of many things, and is just freaky looking. I love the fact that we see a fish swim by earlier in the film, and it's the same kind of fish that the main evil creature has on its head. Unfortunately, it is hidden during a lot of the film due to technical difficulties, especially when it's turned into a sponge, not literally, and sucked in tons of water, which inflated the latex creature. While the effects are sometimes a miss, they usually work. The underwater shots are incredible. They actually had experts come in and observe both the underwater footage and the sets they built with feathers and proper lighting to give the appearance of it being underwater footage. The experts couldn't tell the difference. The motion picture soundtrack, Jerry Goldsmith composed beautiful and very atmospheric music for this movie. It fits so well with the underwater environment. The weird thing is, we don't get to hear much music for a good 20 minutes after the opening credits. All we hear are the sounds of the underwater station. Very ambient. There are some cheerful themes that are memorable, albeit a bit cheesy. Still, it's an easy listen. I highly recommend this movie, for it's one of the best, if not the best, underwater thriller horror creature feature of 1989. With a superb cast, acting, amazing effects for the most part, and pretty good and fitting music, this film should be remembered for the years to come. The Scream Factory Blu-ray is fantastic. I've never seen the film look better. Buy this edition when and if you get the chance. I think it's out of print now. Overall, I give Leviathan a 3 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, the horror show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon. Even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Also hit the notification bell, and as always, subscribe.